Hi everyone, today I'm going to try something a little bit different. I've had these in storage for such a long time. They're kind of like an embossed powder, but they're more like a real thick Uti. They're made by Pipe Dream ink. But I'm going to melt these down in a saucepan with a little bit of baking powder underneath, and then I'm going to try and pour them into these new Stampin' Up moulds. There's a button one and then there's a flower one. This is the rosette one here. Still a little bit wet because I've just finished washing it out after using it with some clay. So these should effectively be able to be poured into these moulds, and then once they've cooled a little, you'll be able to peel them out, and they'll have these beautiful, bright, brilliant colours. So they've got a couple of different really nice ones there. So even though I might not be matching them up with the Stampin' Up colours, I'm getting rid of some of those, making some room in my stash, and also making some pretty things I can use on my cards. The other really cool thing about these particular ones is that you could put 3 colours together in the saucepan and mix them around, and you get a very interesting sort of marble pattern. So usually I'd use an old saucepan for this, but I'm just going to use my proper pan here. And I've just got a baking sheet, so lie that inside, and then onto that baking sheet you sprinkle in some of the powder. And what the baking sheet lets you do is, once you've got it in there and it's melted, it gives you kind of like a scooping, pouring mechanism as well, which is quite handy. So I'm going to start off with some of the blue, and you're probably not going to see the mould off camera. I might need to move that so you can. Sprinkle some into the pan, you turn it up nice and hot, and as it starts to heat up it'll start to turn into the liquid form. Okay, so that's nice and melted. So I'll bring that over and just tilt it up and pour it into the mould. And I should have enough for one each of the flowers. It'll take its time coming out. You might not get a little one out of that one, never mind. And then using your spoon, put that back into the pan, you can actually melt that up again. And you can add to it as you go. So at the moment that's in there and that's just going to cool off. Whoops. And we'll add to that. Alright, so when you've got it, put it in the mould and it started to cool down, then it's just a matter of popping it out. And then what you have there is a solid shape. And it's that easy. Okay, so you've got all 3 and you have a nice clean mould ready to go. And I've tried the button one as well. This one here is a bit messy. I'd probably melt that down and try again. But you get the idea there. So it's definitely another try. But the bigger one has come out, oops, sorry, has come out quite nicely. Right. So they're single colours, and then you can go ahead and blend as well. So I'll do some of those. So the name of this stuff, the Pipe Dream ink, is called Opal's Ultra Thick Embossing Powder. So you could probably do the same with embossing powders, but this stuff's more suitable. So these are the sorts of colours that I got. These is when I sort of mixed the purple and green and orange together. And they've got a real sparkle and shine to them, and they've come out really quite well. So I've left the last one that I had in the mould. So this was the pink and the orange. So just poured it in. It is quite warm, and to get it out, it's just a matter of popping, pulling. So that one's got a bit of a line of green through it there. It's a bit interesting. Okay. Nice and sparkly. And there's the little rosette, which I think is quite cute. So, all in all, if you're looking at a different way of using your moulds, this is an excellent sort of choice. I know that there are lots of different things that you can use them in. You'll notice that I don't have a lot of buttons. I find the buttons one really hard, only because of the little prongs. And you'll notice that in the bigger one, it's really hard to kind of scoop that across. And I found the same when you're using it with the clay. But again, you can just get a paper piercer and pierce the hole through. So because of those difficulties, I didn't do a whole lot of buttons, and I certainly didn't do the little one because I found it the most challenging. But for the rosettes, fantastic. So thanks for watching.